Welcome back to another episode of New Testament Tutorials. Make sure to give me the HMO to help me out special by subscribing to the channel. Also, please like, comment, and share the videos, you guys. We're trying to get this message of Christ out to the world. I thank you all who've supported the channel through donations. I thank those of you who will donate. Feel free to email any questions, comments, or concerns to newtestamenttutorials@gmail.com. There's a link down in the description box for you guys. Gonna make another short video today about a topic that's kind of near and dear to my heart. First of all, I want to say that this channel, it's more than just getting people familiar with the Bible and how to rightly divide the Bible and the correct way to read the Bible and discern the Bible. I also want to talk to you guys about issues that affect us, affect Christians or non-Christians as part of our daily lives. So today's video is going to cover something that's very near and dear to my heart. It's actually killing two birds with one stone. I'm actually going to cover the issue of homelessness in the U.S. as well as how we respond to homelessness. And the reason that I'm covering this particular issue today is I was out one day doing something. I believe it was rainy that day, and I went into a store. And when I came out of the store, a guy walked up to me and he said, "Look, man," he said, do you mind sparing me a couple of bucks?" He said, "It's really cold outside, and I'm a couple of dollars short of getting a hotel room for the night so I can take care of myself." Now, I was going to give the guy the money anyway to help him out, but what he said to me next just tore into my heart. He said, "Look, man, I know I'm homeless, but I'm still a human being." And that just tore me up on the inside, because I've seen in my life where people, even Christian people, non-Christian people, where we begin to see ourselves as better than, and we treat people who are homeless as if they are dogs or less than human. You see it all the time. People randomly attacking homeless people. People, you're doing bad things to homeless people, and it's an issue that we really need to address. So we're going to talk about homelessness in itself for a few minutes, and then we're going to address some scriptures that kind of deal with how we are to treat people. According to the statistics that I was researching, it said right now, as of January of 2020, there was an estimated 580,000 people who are homeless in the U.S. right now. Now, in certain places, the numbers are just staggering. California, at the time of the study that I was looking at, had 190,000 homeless people. Florida, where I am, is about 27,000. This is, we can. I'm not here to chop it up with people about, why people are homeless. Well, they can work and they can do this and that. We never know someone else's story and what somebody else is going through. So I'm only here to focus on the numbers and not necessarily the reason for the homelessness. But to say that 580,000 people are homeless in what's supposed to be the greatest country in the world with the most resources, it's actually staggering, and it's kind of unbelievable. Not necessarily the number itself, but the fact that more measures aren't taken to help people. A lot of these people are vets. Like myself, I'm a military veteran. A lot of these people, have mental issues where society's kind of given up on them. And I believe just in my heart that more should be done to take care of these people. Now, people may be wondering, why are you talking about homelessness on a Christian YouTube channel? Well, the reason is because a lot of times I have conversations with people, those who are Christian and those who aren't Christian, about homelessness and how to treat homeless people. Because, it seems like, everywhere you go, every highway exit, every intersection, every Walmart parking lot, every grocery store parking lot, they're there and they're asking for help. And I know that before people say it, I know that not everyone who is panhandling or who is out there asking for things is actually homeless. Yes, I know some people are going to point to the couple of scams you see on YouTube where the lady was panhandling and then the guys followed her and she got back in her Mercedes. Yes, these things happen. Nothing in this world is absolute. but with that being said, the exceptions still don't make the rule. Again, I gave you the statistics that there are 580,000 homeless people in the United States. And oftentimes, people talk about, well, I'm not going to give them anything, because they're just going to use it for this and that, And this is the issue. This is what I wanted to address with you guys. I'm just going to give you a couple of scriptures, and we're going to talk about that briefly. The first scripture that I wanted to give you is Matthew 5:42. And what that verse says, it says, give to those who ask, and don't turn away those that wish to borrow. Now, this verse is not saying, don't use discernment, let people finesse you, just give willy-nilly, things like that. But when you encounter homeless people, you never know someone else's story. You never know what they're going through and what kind of impact a couple of dollars or buying them food or something will have on them. You just never know. And this goes not just for the homeless population. This goes for everyday life. You never know, something that you say or something that you do can change somebody's life. Not to get off subject, but I'm going to give you a short illustration of this. About 7 years ago, I went into a Steak and Shake, to eat dinner. The food there is pretty cheap. My meal may have been $7 or $8. But I left a huge tip. It's like triple the amount that I spent on the meal on the table. Well, when the waitress got it, she, I think I'd walked to the bathroom or something. When I came back, she was standing there just crying and shaking. And I asked her, was she okay? And she said, can I give you a hug? And I guess I didn't understand at the time. I said, okay, sure. So she hugged me, and she was just crying. And I found out later that she was going through things, and this money that I gave her, even though it was like $24, $25, was potentially life-changing for her at the time. And from then on, every time I went into that restaurant, she would greet me, she would hug me, she would talk to me, and it was just a good feeling. We just never know how we can change somebody's life just by the smallest gestures. Now, the next verse that I wanted to give you guys is 2 verses, and this kind of encapsulates everything that we are supposed to be as Christians. First of all, guys, as Christians, we don't give to get. We don't give with the expectation of giving. I know the Bible says that whatever measure you give, so shall it be given to you. It's in the book of Luke. However, we give because God has already given to us. God has already blessed us, and there's no better way to bless, to show our appreciation for God than to be a blessing for someone else. Actually, Philippians chapter 2 tells us to not just be concerned about ourselves, to actually be concerned about what others are going through as well. Now, that's not the verse that I wanted to give you guys, but that's the kind of the prefix of what I want to talk to you guys about. The next 2 verses, and these are going to be the last 2 that I give you, is 1 John 3:17 and 18. Now, verse 17 says, if you have enough to live and you see someone in need and don't help them, how can the love of God be in you? Then the next verse 18 goes on to say, let our actions, not our words, show that we are followers of Christ. Now, I know there's a popular saying, well, I'm not going to give somebody money because they're just going to buy alcohol, they're going to buy cigarettes, they're going to do this and that. It's not up to us to worry about what somebody does with something that we have. When you give it to somebody, it's not up to you to worry about what they do with it. You're doing your part by giving out of your heart. That's the end of it. And I know, giving, those of us who have enough to live, which is most people. I know a bunch of society lives paycheck to paycheck, but giving someone $1 or $2 or $5 or buying somebody a burger isn't going to kill you. And we don't do this begrudgingly. The book of Corinthians tells us to be cheerful givers. We don't give begrudgingly. We don't give out of necessity. We don't give to get. We do because that's what's in our heart to do. We as Christians, we are told to be humble, to think of others as better than ourselves. That's also Philippians chapter 2. So we have to elevate others. We have to always look to give other people the advantage. Whether they be homeless, whether they be millionaires, we're always looking to give other people the advantage. That's what God has called us to do. We're not perfect. Me personally, I don't, every single time that I see a homeless person, I don't, I don't give, most of the time I do, but it doesn't happen every time, because sometimes you're just in a position where you can't, or where you don't have the time. You may see someone at a traffic light, the light turns green, you have to go. That's just the way it is. But look to be a blessing to people. Look to be a blessing to people. If you actually sit with some of these homeless people, buy them a burger, sit and eat with them, get to know their story, and a lot of times you'll see that the little gestures that you make will make a huge difference in that person's life. Homelessness really is a problem in this country. But we as Christians can do our part by trying to help them out when we can. Don't just think that they're gum at the bottom of your shoe. They're not. They're human beings. They're people. And as Jesus said, his commandment, his only commandment now, is to love your neighbor as yourself. Worship God, the one God, and love your neighbor as yourself. Because when you have love for other people, whether it be your friends, whether it be your enemies, when you have love for other people, then you fulfill all things. So, guys, I just wanted to give this video to you guys. Again, I'm going to continue to encourage you guys. I thank you guys for supporting the channel. And like I always tell you guys, just remember, anything that's going on in your life, remember, God can, God will, and He has. He can do it. Till next time. Thank you.